on the website. So good morning, and I'm recording this, so just everyone be aware of that. My name is Bethany Ferrall, and I am the Assistant Director of Career Development here at A&M Commerce and the Virtual Career Fair Coordinator. So I really appreciate you guys jumping on with us today and being available to participate in this virtual career fair to hire our Lions. We're very excited, particularly in a time of social distancing, to be able to have this virtual option for our students and provide them with some career opportunities here going forward. So what I'm going to do, like I mentioned earlier, is I'm just going to quickly go through these slides of how to break down and update your profile. So if you are on this Zoom and you want to go ahead and log into the back end of your, and I'm going to put that address in the chat. If you want to go ahead and log into the back end of your account, that you can then edit your profile while we're going through how to do it, if that is helpful. Okay, and I've just put that link in the chat. So your username is just going to be that Texas undergrad random number you were assigned, and then the password that you were sent, which I realize has a low level of security, but that helps us to me to be able to quickly troubleshoot any issues for you. So please do not change that password. I will not be able to assist you if that password is changed. So first thing first, you're going to update your corporate data. It's just the name of your company, the link for your contact website, the name of one contact person, a name, email, and phone number, whoever you want emails to go to after this fair, whoever you want to be the lead contact person, whether that's you or another recruiter, you want to put that information. Then you're going to upload your logo. This is a part that often gets people stuck because it's kind of a different upload system. First of all, the largest it can be is 5 megabytes, and it needs to be a JPEG file. When you upload that photo, it's going to come in, and I'll go over this later, but it's going to be sort of outside of a box, and you're going to have to use your roller ball on your mouse or your keypad or your laptop touchpad, if you have one, to zoom that image out and fit in that blue box. Again, we'll go over that in a few minutes, but just wanted to give you some heads up on that can be a little tricky. So next, you're going to add your social media links. Make sure that you add the https:// and the full link. So www.facebook.com/TMUC HireLion for all of those, to make sure that it links out appropriately. Then you can put a basic description of your company up to 4,000 characters that allows students to get some more information before they ever start a chat with you. And then there's a second additional description box underneath that you'll be able to look at. And again, just as a FYI, I'm going to be going through this information pretty quick, and then we'll view it live. Okay, the next section is your design section, which is actually one part that I think is kind of fun. You're going to select your booth layout. There's a number of different layouts in your avatar for your host. There's 6 hosts for options. The logo that you uploaded previously will be there on your visual booth. Then you can upload a banner and a poster, and the sizes on those is here. You will again need to zoom in and out to fit whatever you're putting in those boxes there. Those files also need to be JPEGs. And when you upload those files, below the upload of the image, there's going to be a link that allows you to add a link where if someone visits your booth, when they click on that image, it will send them to an external website if you so desire. You do not have to include that link. Then section, and you can see here, I just put a little example in here. You can see where you can select the different designs. This is what a standard booth looks like. The host, this is Leah. I think one is named Carl. I think there's, I can't remember the other names, but there are several different names there. You can select the one who best represents you. And I know they don't all perfectly represent us, but when you upload your poster, you'll see that your poster would appear where that handshake logo is, and then your banner would appear where that picture from graduation is, and then your logo is what's going to be on that front desk. So that's how you determine sort of your look. Every little booth is a little bit different, but again, we will go over that in just a minute. The next thing you want to do is upload your jobs. You will see when you go to the job sections, it may still say add offers. developers of this company are from Spain, and that's how they refer to it as offer there as opposed to jobs. So just click add offer and you can add those jobs. If you want to have 20 different jobs that you're hiring for, or you just want to keep all the applicants from this career fair in one thing, you can do that. Just make sure that you're as specific as possible. Use your the title of your job. Make sure you include that, put a brief description, and then an application link, an external application link or instructions on how to apply. It'll ask you for an external application link. And if you put an external application link in that, they will not, their applications will not be tracked in the system. It will redirect them to wherever you would like them to apply. If you don't put anything there, all your applications from this fair will be held within the internal application system. So just something to keep in mind there. Either way is totally fine. Whatever works best for you works fine for us. Then there's a chat section. You'll need to go in there and add what times you will be available to chat. So this fair does seem a little long. It is from 12 to 7. Typically virtual fairs are a little bit longer. The reason it runs 12 to 7 is because we're trying to target those who are, some of our targets are those who are employed. And so we want to catch them on a lunch break as well as after the work hour. So we have that 12 o'clock time and that 5 to 7 time when they get off of work. Or if in our current scenario, they're working from home and can't, you know, get away at what would be considered a normal career fair time. You do not have to be logged in the entire time, but you can be logged in the entire time. If you have a couple of people in your organization and you want to divide and conquer, do about 3 hours a piece, you can do that as well. But if you do that, we ask you just to add those chat times for each, when each person will be there. So if Jane's working from 12 to 4 and John's working from 4 to 7, you can add that under the chat option, and we'll go over how to do that momentarily. Next, there's some optional additions that you can make. You can add some downloads. Things that people might add in a download section are PDFs of more information about your company. Like a lot of school districts have like a profile of a teacher. The things that you look for typically in an employee. If you want to upload a benefits package, if you want to upload anything you have there that you might physically hand to a student when you were at an in-person event, that is where you would add those downloads. So think of this as your recruiting flyers, things that you would have physically handed to someone in person, you're going to have them download here. The next one that I really encourage, it's optional, but I really encourage you, if you have anything to add them, is videos. It really allows you to give yourself a personal touch. So maybe if you have any of those, like a day in the life of, you know, Wiley ISD or whatever. I know Forest Christian Camps, they have some really great Vimeo videos on their, they have a Vimeo channel. They had some awesome videos on there that I helped them get added. And so it just gives your booth a little bit more personal touch. It makes it look super complete if you fill out all these different options. So that's setting up your fair. So prior to the fair, you probably are attending this if you are the person who's setting up the booth, but you will also have recruiters who are going to be online chatting. You can have up to 10 recruiters per organization logged in chatting. So if it's you and 3 other people, you will log in with a chat account with the account login credentials I sent you, just Texas undergrad and then whatever your number was. Then you will give the chat accounts to your additional recruiters who log in. So Texas undergrad 1 _ chat 1, Texas undergrad 1 _ chat 2. You will assign them those same password, and they, prior to the fair, they just need to go into the demo site. This is a very important thing to remember. They need to go to the all caps DEMO site to modify their name, add their email, and upload their photo. If they try and go to the non-demo site, the regular site, it's going to tell them that their password is incorrect because that site doesn't go live until 11:30 on the day of the fair next week. And then another thing that I have recently started telling people to do is to prepare sort of that first thing that you would say to a student, so that when you're proactively reaching out to students, or when they first reach out to you when they're visiting your booth, kind of have that, "Hi, I'm John with Sample ISD. We're looking for ag teachers. What kind of position are you looking for?" Those things that you feel like you may be typing quite a bit, I would save those in a Word document so that you can copy and paste those sort of constant answers so that you don't have to type them over and over and over again. That's something I've done with some frequently asked questions for my team, and it has been incredibly helpful and saved a lot of time and increased the number of people that I'm able to chat with. So during the fair, just as an FYI, the fair chat will open at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. The fair doesn't start until noon, but that gives you about 30 minutes to get logged in, make sure you're good to go, that you've updated your profile, that you kind of are familiar with the system. And then you will, again, you'll go to that tmechigherline.easyvirtualfair.com with no demo, just the generic login site. The students will see recruiters that are logged in and visible in the public space. And then you can, once the fair starts at noon, you can start chatting with students who visit your booth. There is a ding every time someone visits your booth. If you hear that ding and you don't see anyone chatting with you, that just means that someone is at your booth looking around and maybe hasn't been quite brave enough to chat with you. So you can click on the visitors tab and see the most recent person, and you can start a chat with them proactively there and see who is visiting your booth, and kind of cold introduce yourself if you want, or you can give them the opportunity to review your content and then start the conversation with you. And so you can just see some of those statements that I put there. And then if you aren't hearing that ding of people visiting your booth, you will be able to see a list of every single student that is logged in. And you can click on their names. And again, I'll show you this shortly, but you can click on their names and view their profile and see information about them and look at their resume before ever starting a conversation with them. You can go in and do that. And if you see something you like, then you can proactively send them a private chat message and just start a conversation. Though I've seen a lot more success from people attending who proactively reach out. And it's just like when if you're at a regular fair, you see a student walking by, students sort of do that lap at the beginning. They get a little nervous and they're not sure, like, oh gosh, am I going to go talk to this person yet? I don't know. But they sort of make that lap. So if you see the student walking by that has the name tag or the profile in this case that looks like, you can just proactively start talking to them and sort of draw them over to your booth. And you'll have records of all of those conversations. So just a couple of tips. Then after the fair, make sure you follow up with candidates you're interested in after you've spoken with. When you're chatting with them, you don't have to chat with them for a very long time. You can schedule a time to, sort of do a phone interview or have a further chat later on. You can do that during the chat. But all those records of those private chats you have will be under your chat and private chat log. If for any reason you happen to, like, your internet crashes or whatever, and you have to log out and then log back in and suddenly all your private chats are gone, you do have record of those and they will be available in that chat. So oh my gosh, I know that girl's name was Jane, but what was her last name? You can go in, you'll be able to see that information. And then you can, after the fair is over, then you can go to your visitors log, see everyone who clicked on your booth, all of their information. You can download into an Excel profile. That's their name, their email, their major, and their resume if they have uploaded it. So that's really good data for you to have after the fact. Even if they visited your booth and did not have a conversation with you, if they clicked on your booth and read your information, you have their information, which is a little creepy to me sometimes. Like, I don't want everybody knowing whose Facebook profile I've clicked on, but in this case, you can know all of that information. And then email us at higherline@tmec.edu, any students that you interview and hopefully students whom you hire. And then contact me with any post-event questions or feedback. So now I'm going to jump over and we're going to look at it live real quick. And give me 1 second to share a different screen. So when you log in, I am logged into someone's account who's not going to be using this. Can y'all still see Easy Virtual Fair? If you can, just say something in the chat. Sorry. my chat thing went away, so. Okay, great. So when you're logged into Easy Virtual Fair, you can see over here, it will take you, the first place it's going to take you is into this corporate data. And you can go in there and you want to update your information with your company name, like we talked about. I know it seems pretty basic. And then you can, here on your corporate website, that's going to be like your main employment website or your main organization website, depending on how you decide to do it. An external link is usually what people use for an application link. And then complimentary link is any other additional emails you want to use. So you can also add in here your company slogan. And I'm actually going to log out of this right quick and log into my own account because I don't want to remove someone else's logo. So you can see here, I already have my logo updated.
Hey, Bethany.
Yeah.
We're looking at the Handshake account.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so sorry. Let me reshare here. I moved it over to the screen in front of me so I wasn't craning my neck. There we go. Does it say Easy Virtual Fair now? Thank you, Jasmine. Do we see it now?
Yes, we see it now. Thank you.
All right, now let's start over. I'm so sorry. Definitely going to cut that part out of the recording. Okay, so now you see here where I'm just the fair information booth. So you can see here, I've changed my display name to different than my company name. So my company name is Career Development, but I've changed it so that it displays when students see this in the actual live fair, they see fair information booth, ask questions here instead of just career development. And so you can see here, I've added my corporate website, higherline.com. The external link is my application site, put in there as Handshake. I have a company slogan. If you want to add additional complimentary links here, you can also as well. If you have a Zoom meeting link that you would like to share here, you can share that. And then when you go up here to the company logo, you'll just click upload image. And this is the part where I mentioned that it may be just a little tricky sometimes. So I'm going to select my TAMUC logo because we are partnering with Texas A&M Texarkana on this event as well. Due to COVID-19, they had to cancel a lot of their events, so we are located only about an hour from each other. So students from A&M Texarkana and A&M Commerce will be in attendance. So you can see here right now, I am just rolling my roller ball on my mouse and it is zooming this in and out. If I have my laptop, I could take my 2 fingers and zoom them in and out to get this to fit in the box. So and then I'm clicking on this blue box and I'm just moving it around with my mouse. And I want to put that blue box right over this logo and center it as best I can. I'm sort of a perfectionist, so I'll keep moving it till I feel like it's perfect. And then I click save and it will load it and it will tell you that changes have been saved correctly. And you can see that the logo is there and it is now available. This is the logo that will be viewed when my booth is viewed by students in the list of booths. And then I've added my contact name here. I've added our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Twitter accounts here. And just again, make sure you include that HTTP before and the full link, not just your short link, like just your username. Make sure you include that full link. Right here on this, include here the text you want to share. If you want somebody, when they share anything on social media about your organization, if you want to put something here like check out, oops, hold on, sorry, I wasn't typing right. Check out career development or, you know, whatever you want to say here, that's the text that will be available when they click share. And then I've made a change and I just, as I make changes, I just click save changes, sort of like I do in a Word document, just saving all the time, just so I don't ever lose anything or lose internet connection. I've added my company profile here. And then I re-uploaded another logo here, same way. And then that is a company profile logo that will be available on my booth display, which we'll get to in a second. If you have more information than 4,000 characters on this initial company profile, you can add more information here if you like. It's really up to you how you add that information in. Does anybody have any questions before I go on to the design about entering corporate data? Okay. if you do, just pop them in the chat. I have my chat window open. I'll just keep trucking through. So when I'm editing my booth, I think the most important thing to do is just start here at the top. We are in corporate data. Next, we will go to design. And I need to log in. So I'm the info booth, so I don't have an option of changing here. So I'm just going to log in real quick to somebody else's account. I know he's not able to attend this fair. He attended a previous fair, so it's okay if I make changes. So you can see here, he has selected the standard booth, and it's our standard 2, and has his host as Carl. So if he wanted to change to like Techno 2, it does take it just a second to update, but you can see how that booth has now changed to a different layout. You can change it to Fun 2. There's a number of different templates here. And then you can also change from Carl to Zach. He's going to change that avatar there. You can, or if you want it to be Zoe. There are only 2 male options for some reason. So if you are a male recruiter, I'm sorry that we only have 2 options for you. So you can change that there. It's pretty easy. And then once you've done that, you just click Save Changes and it will automatically update. And you can see here that it's pulling in the logos that you have updated. The next option is here on downloads. If you have a job description or a benefits package, you will upload those here. All you need to do is click Add File, select whatever file you're going to be uploading, and then type the name of it, Virtual Career Fair Webinar, and then a brief description, PDF of webinar 0410. And then you click Save. And you can see that that webinar PDF is right there for students to see. I'm going to delete that because that's absolutely nothing to do with Spectrum. Then on the next one, videos. If you want to add in videos, you can see here they had added in their YouTube link. And you will just click Add Video. And you will insert the video title in this box. Paste the YouTube link. It says YouTube link, but it works with YouTube or Vimeo that I'm aware of. Just anywhere that a video is uploaded should work fine. And then you put in the duration. It won't let you save it if you don't put something in for the duration. So go and then click Save, and it will add that video to your booth. And we'll look at the live booth in just a second, and you can see how it's nicely embedded there when it's added. So, and then last in the design front is banner and poster. Here is where you can upload different documents different images for your booth design. So if I go in here and just click Add Banner and then Upload Banner, I'm going to use Jamie's example. I was helping her upload something yesterday. So you see how this image is just a little bit outside of that box. If I just roll back in my, with my roller ball and center this in here and then click Save, it's going to add that image. And if I want to add a link here, I can just www.indeed.com or whatever the link is, the Handshake link. I see here there was a question, can you cut and paste from Handshake? Yes, if you have a Handshake link, to a job that you're wanting them to apply to, you can include that link here or in the jobs. Or if you want to cut and paste your job description in Handshake when we get to posting the jobs, I can show you how to do that as well. So then you click OK. And then you can go down here and add the poster, which is a horizontally designed item. You click Upload Poster. And then let's say we're going to just use this logo. I'm going to roller ball out and center this item into the upload. And then I don't want to include a link for that one. And then, so once you've uploaded those images, if you go back over here to design, you're going to see how your booth will look. So you can see where those 2 images that I just added that clearly have nothing to do with Spectrum hiring, and I will go back and delete momentarily. But they are there and visible for people to see. And it really helps your booth look better if you go in and upload those. And again, if you have any issues with those, uploading those, it can be sort of tricky trying to figure out sizing and figuring out what to add there. I'm happy to I actually kind of really enjoy decorating a virtual booth. And so please don't hesitate to email those to me. So you can see I just deleted those 2 images and they're now gone from the design. So that's designing your booth. Mailbox, this is where any messages that are sent to you via your mailbox, if you are unable to be online, people will send you messages here. Do you have a question? Nope. Oh, okay. So any times that you're not online, any messages received here will be sent here. And if if you sent any direct messages, those will be here as well. Account options, this is where you change your password. Please just ignore that this section exists and do not change your password, because I can't help you fix or troubleshoot if you change your password. So we'll just glaze right over that one. This is where we talked about adding those chat histories. So this is chat. You just are going to click add chat. Recruiter Jane is going to be with the retention department, is going to be available on April 16th, and she is doing the 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock session. And so I put the time she'll be available, and I can say chat with Jane about careers at Spectrum. You can put whatever you want in that box, but you just have to put something, and then you click save, and then it will show on your booth when you have someone available. And then you can add another one. Recruiter John from accounting will be available on the 16th from 4 o'clock, oops, to 7 o'clock. Chat about taxes, whatever. Just and so then you can see that information will be there for students to see on this. And then so those are pretty easy to add. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out about that. On the history, this chat history right here that just says one word history, this will be any public chats that happened with you and visitors to your booth. So there's a public tab and a private tab, and any public chats that you had with visitors will be here. Any one-on-one private chats that you had with candidates will be here. You'll see the date that the first conversation was, the name of the registered person, the date the first contact happened, the number of things you talked about, and actions that were resulted in it. It'll basically just be a long list of chats, and you can download those before and after the event. Then this is where you're going to add your jobs. So if you click, you can see there's one job here that's already been added. You can see here they put the name, title of the name. They put an external link they wanted to track, so they created this link to track everyone who applied from this event and posted this external link here, and then just copied and pasted the information from the job description in here. You can also upload an image for it, but rarely do people actually do that. And then you can click update, and those will be the jobs listed on your profile when the event is live. Since this one had a external link, it will send them directly to that link to apply. But if there was nothing here in this link, then and you had students apply here, after the event is over, you will come back to jobs and export all of the applications for your job. And you'll just click this export button. It'll send you an Excel spreadsheet of everyone who submitted an application for your job. And that's if there's no external link. And then lastly, you'll go to this visitors tab after the fair, and right here will be a list of everyone who attended, who even clicked on your booth. So you'll get the name, their first and last name, their registration date, and their email. And if you click export to XLS in that additional Excel file, it will also include their resume if they uploaded a resume. So before I go over to the demo site, does anybody have any questions? If you do, you can go ahead, you can unmute yourself and ask those questions about updating, modifying your booth. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, again, if you do, just put those in the chat. I'll be happy to jump to those questions. Now I'm going to show you a little bit what the site looks like live. And I'm going to log in as a student over in another browser real quick. So you can see here that I'm logged in. I'm going to log in as myself because I feel uncomfortable logging in as somebody else. So you can see here that I'm logged in into my own account. It's going to, and initially it always goes into your profile if you need to update your profile. And it will log in here. So if you need to change your name, or this is the first place it's going to take you to change your name, your email, then you click save, and then it will give you the option to add a photo. And I don't really know where my headshot is. Let's see if I can find it. You always sort of take your life into your own hands when you just like search your computer on a webinar. Okay, so you can see there I just uploaded my photo. And again, I did that kind of fast. I apologize. So if you want to remove it, you don't like it, you can do that. Click add photo. Search your headshot and double click on that image. It's going to upload it again. You can see it just like I've got this blue box. You can drag and zoom. You can, if you click on this blue box, it'll move around like this, and you can center it over your face as best you like. Put your eyes there in the center and then click save. And then that just gives your account more of a personal touch. So when students log in, what they're going to see is exactly this. Their chat area will load. I'm in the demo site, and so the chat sometimes takes a few minutes to load, so just make sure you log in a little bit early before the event. And it will, once it loads, there's a private and a public chat area. You can see over here the two different pavilions. This first one is the info stand. This is the career development info booth where they can ask questions and chat with us. Then the all majors booth is where everyone who is in attendance, this is just the list of all the booths. So if I want to go and see Forest Homes Christian Camps, I can see where they've updated their profile, added their link, add all their information. I can see the links that they've had here. I can see the posters. This chat box can minimize. I can click on these links and I can see the external links that they have, their website, all their information. If they had added jobs, I could add those here. I can see their social networks. And then we talked about earlier adding videos. When you add those videos, you can see it embeds these really nicely. So you can see those here. And let's see if my chat box is opened. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna refresh the page because I'm being impatient. Really, oh, okay, there we go. So you can see now, you see right here, there is a private chat and a public chat. So when you go in your public chat, this is information that anyone can see. And if you type it in this box and send that out, and then maybe you want to upload a share document like this virtual career fair webinar document, you can send that PDF that anyone that visits your booth is now going to be able to see and download what you've shared with them. So it could be something like, welcome to our fair, welcome to our booth. Please chat with Jane if you have any questions. And you can pre-type these questions in and just have them there. And then like I talked about, there's the recruiters tab, so you can see there's another recruiter like from Duncanville ISD currently logged on. You can see their list of all the other recruiters logged on. And then when students are logged on, you will see their visitor tab right here. And I'm going to real quickly log in as a student so you can see what it looks like when a student is. So give me 1 second. Can I remember? Yes, I remember my password was correct. So that chat booth will load momentarily. And I can see here that there's a recruiter live. So I can see this person from Duncanville is logged on. I can click on their public chat and see some information. I'd see anything that they've posted here, or if I'm just kind of, I want to start a conversation with them, I can say, good morning, not good morning, good morning, and send them a message, and hopefully spelled better than that and more appropriately written. But then they would be able to respond, and we could have a back and forth conversation. And then they would have access of, what's the word? They would have record of that conversation. And when you look at a student, if you click on their profile, I can't be logged in as an admin in one time, but when you click on a profile of someone, there will be up here in this top right corner, there will be 3 dots where you're able to see their profile, and you can then download their CV. And I'm gonna see if I can real quickly log in on my phone, so and that way you'll be able to see. Does anybody have any questions? I know this is a lot of information, but I'm gonna stop talking for a minute and let y'all ask your questions while I get logged in as a student. Oops. No questions? I'm the perfect demoer. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get logged in here real quick, and then that's really it. It's pretty simple. And you'll see here there's two different pavilions. So there's the school district's pavilion and the all majors pavilion. So we have 2 different audiences logged into that will be logging into this event. So if you're a school district recruiting, know that you will be able to, the students know which thing to visit. Okay, so I'm logged in now as I'm the info chat, and I see this visitor, Bethany Ferrall, is logged in, and I want to send her a message. Good morning, Bethany. What are you seeking today? And then it will send, hopefully I spell better than that also. It will send Bethany a message and notify her on the system that I have sent a message. But if before I did that, I wanted to just click on her name before I sent her a message, I could click on her name and then click on these 3 dots and view info about her. So I could see her public profile, see some information that she had updated, her public relations, her alumni status, and then I could download her resume from there and look at that before I ever started chatting with her, if I wanted to do so. So you can do that throughout the event. When there's a lot of people logged into the event and it seems a little crazy to do that, you might consider dividing up the alphabet to chat with the students. So like, okay, recruiter Jane, who I keep using as an example, is going to contact every student whose first name starts, because they're in first name, last name order, whose first name starts with A through D. I'm going to contact anybody whose first name starts with D through M, however you want to break it up. You don't have to do it that way, but that's one suggestion that I have given to people that's been helpful on how to track who you're talking to. And when you're logged in, so I'm logged in here as my info stand. If you know that you just sent a message to somebody and you accidentally click log out, and then when you log back in, your chat is gone with that person, you can log in to the back end. And when the fair is live, if you go to your visitors, it will see anyone who's just recently clicked on your booth. And then if you go to chat and then private history, that private history, that chat will be right here. So you can say, oh, it was Bethany Ferrall I was talking to. Let me go back in and have a conversation with her. So in a very long-winded manner, that is all I have today. But if you have any questions, you are welcome to unmute yourself, and I will be on for another 20 minutes or so, just here to chat. If you've gotten everything that you need, I appreciate your participation today. And if you have any questions, you have my email address is in the chat box, and I will also send the recording and PowerPoint out via email. So this is your chance to speak now or forever hold your peace. And I'm just putting my email address, which you should all have, but just in case, back here in the chat box once again. And I will send out this PDF shortly. I really am happy to answer your questions. I promise there are no dumb questions, so do not hesitate to ask a question if you have one. I know it can be a lot of information if you've never done one of these before, but I don't hesitate to ask.
Everybody that's there, you can change the format.
So if nobody has any more questions, you can go ahead and log off. Don't feel like you have to stick around. You're not going to miss anything. It's not like the credits at the end of the movie where there's some extra footage. But I am happy to stick around and answer questions. If you need me to log in as you and upload anything and show you how to make changes, I'm definitely happy to do that. Kimberly, there is access to that on the career services admin side. Is that your question? And so like you as if you're an employer attending, the information to everyone who's pre-registered is not available, but me as the owner of the fair, I can see that there are 259 people or however many are currently signed up. Carlton, your password is in your email, but big surprise here, your password is password. Just all lowercase. Correct, Kimberly, yes. Yeah, recruiters can't contact in advance, just during the event. I mean, you could share that information with them, I guess. I mean, you have that information, so you can download it. But that's just not something we've done as of yet. So at our first fair that we did in November, the question was, how many students do you expect us to see in this one day? At our first fair that we did in November, the very first one we'd ever done, we had 180 students log on. At our last all teachers career fair, we had 250 log on, and we currently have 276 students pre-registered, and we usually see a significant amount that just register on the day of. So I think I would anticipate us having 250 students would be would be a reasonable expectation of attendance. I can't ever guarantee how many students will talk at each booth. But that's why I suggest the proactive reach outs, because I think sometimes students are just a little bit intimidated. They're just kind of like creeping around and looking at all the booths, and they get really excited when someone reaches out to them and introduces themselves. Because I have done this same webinar for them, training them on what to say, how to have their pre-written elevator pitch ready, make sure their resume is uploaded, make sure they have a professional picture. And they actually told me after our last event that they felt more confident in a virtual scenario than they do in an in-person scenario, because they felt like they had pre-written some of the things that they wanted to say, and they felt a little braver to say those things via chat than in person for some reason. So so I just thought that was pretty neat. But I would anticipate we would have 200 to 250 students in attendance. But I'm hoping for more than that, but that's been our pretty standard attendance. But our numbers are, I say that too, but our numbers are a lot higher from a registration standpoint this time around as well. I think everybody's in virtual mode. more so than they were at the first one, the first two. But so pretty excited about it.